പറയാൻ പോകുന്നത് നമ്മളുടെ പാരലാക്സ് മെത്തേഡ്. പാരലാക്സ് മെത്തേഡിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. പാരലാക്സ് മെത്തേഡ് പറയുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ നിങ്ങൾ അടിസ്ഥാനമായി അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കേണ്ട കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ട്. അത് ഒന്ന്, ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഡയഗ്രാം ഞാൻ വരച്ചിട്ട് ഇത് ആംഗിൾ അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതിന് നമ്മൾ ആർക്ക് ആൻഡ് we'll call this as radius. This is angle, this is arc, and this is radius. And we know a basic relation. The basic relation is angle is equal to arc by radius. We all know this relation, angle is equal to arc by radius. We'll use this relation intelligently in order to find out the distance that we cannot measure directly. And in order to measure the distance that direct measurement is not possible, let's consider the situation. Let's assume that this is our moon. What's this? Moon. And let this be our earth. We have to find out the distance from earth to moon. Can we measure it directly? Is the direct measurement possible? No, the direct measurement is not possible in this case. Therefore, we'll use an indirect measurement method in this case. And that indirect measurement method is like this. That is, we will fix a point on the earth. Let that point be A. From that point A, we will focus a telescope from this point A to a particular point on the moon. Let me draw a line like this. We have focused our telescope from point A to a particular point on the moon. Then we'll change our position. We'll come to another point, and from this point B, from that point also, we are focusing our telescope to that same point on the moon. Now we have focused our telescope from A to moon and B to moon. After this, can we measure this distance? Yes, it is measured directly. Let me call this distance as x. Let's call this point on the moon as O. In the case of very small angle, we could assume arc as a straight line. That is, if the angle is very small, arc can be assumed as a straight line. So, we are using the concept angle is equal to arc by radius in this situation. That is, if we are applying the concept angle is equal to arc by radius in this situation, let me write angle is theta itself. Theta is equal to, what's the arc length? This is, let's call this angle as theta. Can we measure? Yes, we could measure this angle and this angle. If we can measure these two angles, we could find out the value of this angle from the total sum of the triangle is 180 degree. Therefore, if these two angles are measured, we could easily measure this angle. Therefore, angle can be measured. And if we are using this concept over here, we could write angle is equal to arc. Arc is, let me write it as x. X divided by, what's radius? Radius is AO. AO. Our task is to find out the distance from earth to moon. Therefore, I could write AO is equal to x divided by theta. That is, distance from earth to moon is equal to this distance that we could measure directly divided by the parallax angle. And this is how we are measuring the distance from earth to moon by parallax method. Hope you have understood this method. It's not an accurate method, it's an approximate method, but since this distance is very small and this angle is measured very accurately, then it will give a somewhat real result. Okay. In the next case, I'm going to say how we can measure the diameter of moon by this parallax method. How can we measure the diameter of moon by the same method, that's parallax method? For that, I'll draw a circle and assume that this is our moon. Let me draw an arc and this is our earth. Now our task is to find out the diameter of the moon. In order to find out the diameter of the moon, we'll take our telescope to one point on the earth. Let me mark this point as O. Then from this point O, I'll focus the telescope to one end of the moon. We could focus our telescope to one end of the moon. Then, without shifting the point, we are tilting the telescope to get the focus on the diametrically opposite end. We could do it. We could tilt the telescope and focus it on the diametrically opposite end. And this angle could be measured by using our telescope. Theta. Let it be theta, and it could be measured from our telescope. Let me call this point as A and this point as B. What's this distance? This distance is our diameter. In this case also, we'll use our basic concept, that is angle is equal to arc divided by radius. If angle is equal to arc by radius, using it in this context, we could write angle is equal to, what's arc length? Arc length is the diameter divided by radius is AO. And AO, it is the distance from Earth to Moon. It doesn't matter that the distance from Earth to this point will be approximately equal to distance from Earth to this point, since the distance from Earth to Moon is very large compared to the diameter of the Moon. Therefore, in order to find out diameter, it is AO into theta. That is distance from Earth to Moon, that is AO, into parallax angle will give you the diameter. This is how we are finding out the diameter of moon by parallax method. We could use this parallax method in order to find out the diameter of moon, diameter of sun, or diameter of any heavenly body. This is one method for finding out the distance where direct measurement is not possible. Hope you have understood this.